Okay. This time I'm gonna go live again and we're gonna try okay. This time we're gonna go live again and we're gonna try doing the thing. So last time I tried to do the live, a lot of deaf people, they joined in, and 3 of them, they wanted to battle, so we did that, and that was actually kind of fun. Got to practice my sign language because I'm really bad at that, and so just communicate, meet new people online and all of that. So that was naturally nice. I usually will say no when someone asks for that because I'm like, no, I don't battle. It's usually my thing. So this time I actually did do one. But after that I ended the live because I did want to do another live and actually do my point, just to record some content about the whole marketing strategy and all of that. So alright, so now we're going to get started. I wanted to talk about marketing and sales and all of that, and connecting that to the to the buyer's journey. I can't use my hands. But yeah, so the first thing I want to talk about is, to recap, sorry. The first thing, let's talk about recap, is last time we did like 2 lives about what are the marketing funnels and sales funnels and how they connect. So we did 2 lives on that about all of these definitions and topics. So if you're confused about anything, you could check there for first, or just in general, to see if that answers your question, or you can ask me. Those are posted on YouTube at Deafchild and Jeffrey and L. But yeah, and then this one is going to be more specifically about connecting like content. Oh, hi Deaf Peruvian. Thank you for joining me again. I want to just do this live about marketing and sales real quick, and then if you do want to join, like, I'll be free for a bit if you do. But moving on, so basically, welcome back. Yes, I just want to get these ideas out. I was trying to do this over 20 minutes ago, so this funnel is from WordStream. Ooh, I appreciate you. So the funnel about WordStream, and we talked more about this last time, and it's more specifically it's breaking down the content funnel into like content. So what would you make with that information? And the thing about it is so with awareness, and then evaluation, and then conversion, and then retention, that connects with the evaluation is usually like consideration and decision. It's just different words. So this is where here at these different levels, different messages will basically kind of motivate people to act. And so when people are just finding out about you, if they don't know who you are, they're not likely to basically go buy from you right away unless you have a really nice offer. So when they first find out about who you are, they're usually looking for how-tos, ideas, ebooks, social updates, and I am varying, press releases, quizzes, cold emails, all of that. So with like food, for example, people need to eat. So on some level, you can get some people coming in, but why do restaurants fail, right? With the marketing aspect, if nothing else is wrong. Well, on that aspect, for example, like if a restaurant were to fail, for example, no wonder how it failed so many interviews. That's so funny. Well, usually with them, they're like, they put out only bottom funnel messages and never do like any type of press release, so people don't know about them. They don't know who they are. And so say you're walking down the street and you see restaurants and you know what most of them are, but not one. You are more likely to go to the people who you know who they are. And so that's the idea with breaking down the pieces you send to people according to how they've acted with you. And so when you're just going to like what's called top of funnel, and it's like people who don't know who you are, if you go to like online, and it's like they're less likely unless they're next to you and it's an event, maybe. But it has a very small conversion rate. Like, so in awareness, there should be some type of call to action to act, but it's not where the sale happens. It's usually to get you in the door or to get you scrolling somewhere. And then evaluation, people are thinking about if they want you or not. At that point, that's where like reviews and then like webinars. You said you agree and disagree. Well, that's totally fine because there's no right. Oh, I just realized I have a video. I have another live that's gonna start now, and it's just started automatically playing. Okay, so yeah, no, that's fine because there's no right or wrong way to do marketing. This is just about how I do it. So with marketing, okay, I like because there's some things about marketing where it's like, yeah, that's right or wrong. Like there's no debate. It's like either yes or no on that. But then there's other things about marketing where it's like that's subjective. That's, you know what I mean? It's kind of like style. Like it's like it's about finding what works for you because not everybody's gonna have the same issues, and the same procedure. Like every business has different needs. With conversion, that's when you get people to act, so that's when you're at the sales process. And usually the faster, like if it's 3 to 5 steps that you can do it, 3 if possible, but sometimes you need something, you need certain information, so it has to be 5. Then the better, because the more likely people are to convert at every step, because the longer it takes to check out, the more likely you are to lose somebody. So yeah, the only time you really want to add those stopping points is when you have a really big high ticket offer and you're doing your due diligence financially, making sure they can afford you. And then, wrong button. Let's see if I can pull this back up. Okay, so this connects to like your content too, and I wanted to use blogs as an example of that. Like, so, with like awareness, that's when you're like topic focused, when you're letting people know about what you do. Because, and here's the thing, sometimes when you have the right marketing, like if it's clear what you do, you don't necessarily need a whole lot of top of funnel, because people on the street are going to see, oh, that's a bar, that's a restaurant, and go in, right? But there are some places, like in New Orleans, there are a lot of places where there would be no way, unless you didn't already know about it, to tell that was an establishment to go eat at, and then there will be, hi, how you doing, Cherise? I am just talking about marketing today. And then there will be like, places in New Orleans, like they'll have like their name will be totally unrelated to what they do because of like history. So like there's La Petite Grocery is a restaurant. So it's not a grocery store. So a lot of people, they don't think to go there because you look it up, it says grocery, and you don't think you're going to go get food at a grocery, so that can matter too, with top of funnel. So it's all in the marketing, like the name is even marketing. It's good to see you all. Thank you for being here. But yeah, so this connects with like your blog content. If you think of like with awareness, and you're just educating people on the topic of not only who you are, what you do, and how you are different than other people, basically. And then with solutions is with like when you show what you solve, like, and for example, and that can also be with restaurants, like what makes you, that's where you can sell your unique selling proposition, because everybody has different things about them. And then with brand focused content, that's where it's like, why would someone choose you over others, And then with user focused, that's when you're really focusing on people who are taking actions with you, because you know them, you know what they like, you know who they are. That's when you think about your long-term buyers, because that's who you know the best. So yeah, and then so those two first graphics that we looked at are from WordStream. And then next, this is from markimpa.com. And so we're just talking about, connecting like the marketing to sales here. So where the handoff is, right? So with marketing, you are only getting the lead. Marketing is only about the lead capture. And it's about qualifying the buyer and, seeing if you think that they are interested, if they're interested in the offer. At that point, that's where you put them into the hands of the sales team typically. And this is called like a sales accepted lead. And every company has a different way of determining who that is according to their flow and what works for them. So, for example, whenever the host at a restaurant hands off a customer to their server, that would be an example of a marketing to sales handoff, And then when you have a sales ready lead, that's someone, they've seen the menu and they're ready to order. Versus someone, if they look at the menu and they're not ready to order, they don't want the food, then, That's how you tell. You start qualifying your buyers, right? And so it's just thinking about it like that, and that's how you connect. So with your marketing, with all of the content, you're just capturing interest and you're just getting people's attention. Once you have their attention and their interest, and you have their permission to start a conversation, that's when you get them into the sales team, and that's when you make the sales happen. So that's where people are often missing this gap. Like they'll have great content, they'll have a great product, but they don't have the connection here. So that's why I really want to make this video to show how you turn your amazing offer and your amazing people that you built with your audience into connections for, a working relationship. So this one is it's called Dripify IO, and I think I spelled that wrong, but yeah, so it's about the inbound marketing funnel, and it's all about basically kind of what I was talking about before, but it's a little bit more general. So with top, it's, that's where you're getting people's interest: blogs, SEO, social media, and websites. That's a really good way, because websites, they rank organically, they get found on Google, so that's how they can be. The websites work for all stages of your marketing funnel. So it's about taking your strangers, getting them to visit you through all of your content, right? And then you get those visitors, see who clicks on a call to action, or who fills out a form, or who, takes any number of actions with you. That's a lead, depending on what you want them to do, right? And then you take your leads, the ones who are acting with you, those are the ones who have given you permission to talk. Those are the ones who are more likely to close. So you take your leads, then you use emails if they give you permission for your contact list, for example. Or you use, if you can run ads, you can use custom ads to send ads to people based on the specific URLs they visited on your site. And you can use that to send the right message to the right person at the right time for a sale. And then the ads people are seeing are related to what they did with you. So that way you're not telling someone to buy something that they just bought, unless it's relevant, and so from there, you're closing more deals. That's where you can give feedback forms, ask for your reviews, and maybe if you have an affiliate program, invite them into it. I find that affiliates are a great way to grow your business, if you're doing it in a good way, and that's a whole different scenario. But yeah. And then I want to talk about the difference between a marketing funnel and sales. So marketing is all about building relationships, and at the end of the day, sales are all about relationships. So with a sales funnel though, that is short term, and marketing funnel is going to be long term, because marketing funnel, when you're building a relationship, that is a lifelong journey, right? Versus with a sales funnel, that's temporary moments in time based on the relationship you built, and that's where the mere endowment exposure theory comes into play, because the more time people spend with you, and and that's both in length and duration, then the more likely that, they are to remember you. And if someone remembers you without needing a prompt, that is brand recall. If someone needs like a prompt to recognize you, then that is recognition. So the reason that's important is because if somebody recognizes you, if they know who you are, then you're either first choice or you're going to be last, if somebody who just recognizes you, then you're your second choice, if that makes sense. Because you get what you recognize when you don't see what you wanted, and so yeah, and from there, let's see, I think I already summed that one up. This little graphic I got from LinkedIn. It's from I'm gonna link the article on YouTube, and it's from Miriam Colleen Boahin. I apologize. I said that. I don't think I can say it wrong. Abuahin. So I'm sorry. Okay. Distracted. I got a message. Okay. So this is about the buyer's journey, and that is your buyer's like perspective whenever they're acting with you. And the whole idea with that is, okay, so we've been talking from this whole time from the business perspective, what's happening. Okay, so now let's step outside real quick from that and think about what is our buyer going through. And so they first, you're interested in something, you might look it up depending on what it is, right? Or who you are. Okay, so say, you search for it, you do your research depending on who you are, if you need to, or you do what you gotta do to go there. Say you don't research products, you just need to get to it. That happens, right? Okay. And then after that, you buy it, you make the sale, and then you will often tell people what you think, not all the time. Like, most people aren't going out every time they buy food and telling people what they think, but like, when you're sharing your life with others, you, in that process, can often tell what you think, about what you're doing, which includes your purchases. So it's all about conversion rates. And then this one is called Faster Capital. Yeah, I think research is really important. I will do my due diligence also. So the commenter said, always research, do a background research on the customer or the environment. What I do is use Zoom Info and Crunchbase to look up the numbers for people, like what's reported with their earnings, and then after I find that out, I look at their ad spend on SpyFu, and then I can, if they're big enough, if they're not at that level, they're not there yet, but So if they are, then I can tell them, recommend things that are within their budget and that fit their needs based on what they're already doing. So yeah, I agree. Let's see. Too far. I wanted to. Okay. So with your sales funnel, there are ways, to make the message more personal, and that helps you send the right, idea to the right person, the right time. And there's different ways, different advice. Look it up. I don't know what you said was interesting advice to look up, but thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot. I will, when I go add captions to this, then I'm going to probably realize what you're talking about and be like, oh, unless you tell me, but don't worry. But yeah, no, so, okay, dynamic, when you see people talk about that in marketing, that's when something will change automatically based on what's happening. So, a dynamic, email marketing is good because it'll change people's names and other information based on them. So I have dynamic emails set up for my loyalty program, and that tells you how many points you have, and it tells each person different amount, right? So for example, so that's one way. And so then people get an email from me whenever they have enough points for a discount on my store. So that's another way to get more sales and to connect your sales journey to your content, to your sales journey. Yeah. And then this graphic is from the same source. My vision is really bad, so I've been looking, I have this on my computer and on my phone at the same time, because otherwise I'm over here what's that say? Close my good eye, am I right? Okay, so I had talked a little bit before about making a faster checkout if you can, but ways you can do that, there are heat maps you can use. If you want to do it quickly visually, those are a good way, because the heat maps will use different colors to show you where people are clicking on your site or scrolling. Deaf Peruvian said discounts do attract people. I agree, yeah. Yeah, and then, oh yeah, A/B testing. So there's A/B testing, and then there's multivariate testing. And the difference there is with A/B testing, you're only testing one thing at a time, versus multivariate testing is when you do different things. Oh, hi Chris, how are you today? I'm talking about marketing. I appreciate you. Thank you for the rose. Speaking of roses, I've got roses outside my house, and I've been making rose water for my hair. I'm really actually kind of insecure about my balding ass head, man. Okay, because what happened was my millennial ass left my hair parted on this side for 17 fucking years, from when I was 12 years old to 27. So if I part my hair on this side, it was pretty good. But if I part it in the middle or right here, you start seeing the thinness. Sorry. I'm weird. But yeah, I'm good. I've just been kind of rambling about marketing because I wanted to talk about, I know people who have amazing, content, and then they have big followers, and then they'll have something to sell, but they don't have people going to their store. So I was like, okay, let me do a live about how to send people to your store. So that's what's happening here. I appreciate you. Yes, self-care is the best care. But yeah, what do you like to do for fun? Oh, thank you for the likes. Oh yeah. So just another point I had about this graphic is it talks about trust signals, and one way to do that is with reviews. And we talked about that before in this live. Ooh, video games. My best friend, he plays, I don't even know what my hands are doing now. It's like whenever you talk too fast and then your words get like all jumbled up when you're speaking. My hands are doing that now. Okay, so playing video games and in makeup. So some video games, some I love, but then some, like, they stress me out. And then, so makeup, my family, like, so my dad was Pentecostal, which is a fucking cult. I believe in religious freedom. That's a cult. Fucking my dad and my mom just like didn't believe in makeup. Like if I used to sneak it on, but then she would basically shame me for wearing it, you know. And so now I don't know how to wear it. But my default when I put makeup on is to do a matte lip stain and then pat glitter on top because everybody likes it. And then it's like one of those things, people will compliment me on it, and then I don't have to start a conversation because people will with that. But fucking, yeah. And then, did I have to pull this shit up? Oh, yeah. I talked about email marketing before. I wanted to mention it like one more time. I already talked about email marketing and my loyalty points. This graphic actually shows just like a visual of a 10-step flow about that, about why it works. And I'm gonna link the article for this on my YouTube channel whenever I put this there, but it might take me some time to caption this video. And then I have 2 more graphics I wanted to talk about for the sake of recording. So this one's from Agrarian. I don't know how to spell that, but it's going to be linked on my YouTube. I just spelled it. I don't know how to say it. But yeah, I had talked before about the buyer's journey. And so this is about connecting oh, you're at work. I hope you're having a good day. I have been working from home a lot, and I've been thinking about getting like another job, but because I have a part-time job right now, so I'm like, should I get another full-time one? I don't know. But yeah, I don't like telling people on video who my clients are because that way no one can fuck with my money, bitches. Because, you know, people will go after my past clients and they'll be like, fuck this bitch, don't work with her. And I'll be like, they don't work with me right now anyway, fuck you. Sorry. Because pissing people off when you need to make money online is hard. Anywho, but fucking yes. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the connection of what I was talking about before with the buyer's journey and then brand recognition and recall. That would be where it comes into people comparing you to others, you know. And I think a lot of at the end of the day, part of it is about who can do what's best. When you have a tangible offer, like at the end of the day, it's either that, like, there's a way to make it better than anybody else. But then on some level, if it's all the same, it doesn't matter who does it, it's going to be the same. When it gets to that point, the difference there is value alignment. So I don't think a lot of people, like a lot of people that I have fights with are people who I don't agree with on, like human rights issues. So like I always think like about cancel culture in that regard, right? Like, because people will try to take you down as a business owner, so then what do you do? But the biggest thing is about keeping going, because that'll piss them off the most. And then the second thing is mostly about not letting that get to you, because at the end of the day, with value alignment, people are who they are. And so even if someone is talking shit about you, let them, because you're going to do your thing, show who you are, keep being who you are, and at the end of the day, it shows through. I've had so many, scenarios where I got into situations with people and I felt I was either gaslit or had different reasons to feel so upset about what happened, or like I was not good enough or something, And I think there, on some level, there's like, yeah, you should be working on yourself and decolonizing and shit. But on another level, it's like, just focus on your own community and who the fuck cares about you. Oh, hi, Bohidi. I finally got my marketing life done. This is actually my last little graphic here. And this bitch is from Blog Velocity 23. And this whole video is gonna be posted on YouTube by next week at the latest, I think, because I need to add captions. But so we've been talking about connecting the buyer's journey to the marketing funnel and sales funnel, and then we were talking about connecting buyer's journey to content. And so now I want to end here with the buyer's journey and content assets graphic, because this really summarizes everything that we've been talking about in this live. Actually, if you were going to miss it all, this is probably the best time to hop on in, because you're still getting the key points of the whole live. Dev Peruvian said, caption to this long ass video, that was gonna be a long time. Yeah, I agree. It does take me a long time. So what I've been doing is using I think it's called Vizard. So I get a certain amount of minutes a month for free to automatically caption the video, and then I just go through and fix it. So I've been doing that, and I think I will for this one. Or it's either that, or I've been manually captioning it, like doing it. But that takes a long time. Like, it'll take me probably, 10 minutes for every one to caption a video, manually. But Vizard AI is the only free, no sign-in online captioner that I've found so far. But yeah, okay, so buyer's journey is awareness, consideration, and then decision. And then with that, when someone is, awareness, they're finding out about you in the sales process and connecting that with content, that's where you're telling them, like, you're answering questions, and you're trying to build a relationship and build trust, which is what we've been talking about with like reviews, right? And with showing them how it's done, with how you do what you do. And that's where you introduce your positioning, your unique sales proposition, like I was telling you about earlier. And oh, I didn't mention frequently asked questions. I can't believe I forgot that. So addressing frequently asked questions are like the number one thing when people come to my site and they don't fill out my contact list, or they don't actually take another action. The contact form is like the number one thing people do. And I have a lot of people come to my contact form, they click through all of my frequently asked questions, and they don't even talk to me. So I highly recommend it because it still keeps people engaged. Like, people aren't just reading frequently asked questions on a site they're not interested in, you know, unless you're hate watching. And if so, that still helps my SEO. So thanks a lot, bitches. Alright, and then if you have automated emails are a really good way, but any system for like addressing support, like for me, you know, I've got anger issues, so I have a hard time, you know, not telling people to suck my dick when shit happens, right? But that doesn't mean I'm not good at my job. Just because I'm a fucking crazy bitch doesn't mean I'm not a good worker, right? Like, both can be true. So, you know, where did I get there? Oh yeah, fucking, you know what? I'm losing that. I lost that point. I smoke too much weed. I'll always smoke too much weed before my lives, and then I'll be making a point, and then I forget the point as I'm making it, and I'll be like, I really should stop smoking right before. I should smoke after, right? Okay. But fucking, fuck, what was my point? Now I'm just annoyed that I forgot it. Fuck. Alright. Can I think on this? No. I can't remember. Okay. So with consideration stage, when you're thinking about it, that's when people typically give you their information. So if somebody gives you, you know what? That was my point. Even though I'm a crazy bitch, I still got leads. So you can be a crazy bitch and still be good in business. Like, you're gonna have value alignment. You're gonna have people who don't give a fuck how crazy you are if you can do the damn thing. Like, it's all about conversion rates. It's all about continuing to go. So even if you have moments where you feel bad in your mental health, or you've been in a stage of like arguing with dipshits because fuck them, don't worry about it. Like, you just keep going. Okay, now with consideration stage, that's when, you know, you're giving them more specific information about what they do. So like for me on my site, if someone's in awareness stage, I'm probably only trying to get them to like maybe come to a free live or do a free ebook, or you know, do something free. Or maybe a meeting if I already have some. If they're not a cold contact, if they're a warm contact, I might already get them to a meeting. But if it's a cold contact, they're definitely probably not getting to a meeting yet. And then at that point, once you get them into a meeting or you get their information, that's when you're able to answer questions, answer their objections, find out what they care about, and get them into a meeting. And you do that with, you know, you can you figure out different offers. Like, so not everybody is gonna want like what you have to offer. And if you can't do what they want, then, you know, fuck it. Don't take a client just to take it, unless you really need the money, but that usually doesn't work out. But overall, like, if you have a service base and it's not like a food base, you know, or something where it's different, like, because if there's certain things where it's brick and mortar, that is a bit more binary. It's either there or it's not. Except for some food, because at restaurants, if they have the items, they'll still make it however the fuck you want usually, unless it's like fine dining. Because I've also been to fine dining restaurants. Well, I've worked at them mostly, but then you go over to places where you work with that discount while you can. Fucking shit. Maybe I should get a restaurant job for a discount. He said, less need of money. I do, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, I feel like, okay, so I also feel like there's like it also can depend on the offer. Like sometimes I'll get like a request where I'll be low on money, but someone will offer me something I normally wouldn't do it at that rate or take that or do that type of work anymore, but I will take that job anyway for the money right then. But then there's a certain level where I do what I can for free. I have free options that don't burn me out, that I can keep doing, but I have to limit what I can do for free, because it's not that I don't want to do free work, but it fucks with my mental health when I do too much free work and I'm not making enough money, and then I feel like I'm not valued, you know, and then I feel like I can't do anything, and then I go crazy and spiral. So I don't do a certain amount. I don't do the same. I used to do a lot of free work. I don't do that anymore. I used to do so much free work, people would get mad at me for sending them an invoice. But anyway, so, or they got mad when I decided that, you know, now we're setting prices. They're like, I can do this for free myself. Then do it. Go ahead. Go right ahead. Anywho, sorry. He's the same, but I bears it, then fuck it, we better for more. Yeah, well, it's like this, when you go through this stage where you're like, fuck you bitches, I'm done, it sucks at first, because you go through this stage of almost being cut off, like you're dry in the desert, in a way, like, when you have to build your lead acquisition from scratch, but you get over that hump, eventually, you know, and it's kind of like being at the dentist and getting a procedure done, and you just close your eyes and you try to dissociate. But yeah, fucking. Oh, and in the decision stage, let's just wrap this up, this idea, if I can, me with my fucking brain, where you're actually like, okay, the lead is like ready for sales, and it's like, well, how do you know that? In some ways with the digital, you know that because they went to the fucking form and they did the damn thing. So it can depend on your system. So he said it was a lot of stress, but they'd be like, they don't care about mentally. So he left. Yes, working with people who care about you is more important. Like, I've had people who were body shaming me for posting my nudes online. But first of all, like, if you go to my site, you have to be 18 to see it. So it's not like anybody can just, I mean you can lie, but I can't control that. You know, people can make shit up, but I can't control that. I try my best to, you know, moderate my shit. But anyway, so these bitches were trying to shame me. And I had a point, what was it? Oh yes, and then after they were shaming me, they were saying fucking that they would never buy from someone like me. And I was like, what makes you think I would work with you to begin with? Like, what? Like, I don't know. There's this other level of capitalism where, okay, like on one level of accessibility, I believe in access for everybody, right? So I don't believe in discrimination. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is people think just because they have money, they are entitled to you, and that is not true. So if I don't want to work with you, fuck you, suck my dick. No, I don't have to work with anyone I don't want to work with. Yeah. Fucking. Oh, yeah. But then, sometimes when a lead's ready for sales, so I already said you don't really have to do anything. They're either buying the damn thing or they're not. And that's usually at like a restaurant or with like your online flow with the ads. Like once you send them to the place, they're either buying it or they're not. So you don't really do anything. But then in other situations where you're pitching them, so say you have people in a live and you're trying to get them to your sales funnel, you know what I mean? At that level, then it's like, well, what the fuck do you do? Well, you want to start with trying to get individual conversations, because if you're speaking to everybody, it's kind of like you get bystander. There's a psychological term for it, but I forgot the term, but it's bystander or something. Shit, I don't know, but fuck that. So you basically, like, you don't process that someone means you individually. Like, if you're with a group of people and people are like, hey, call Dan for Dan to come over, if you're doing shit, you probably don't really care about Dan. You're like, whatever, I'm gonna hit my weed right now, fuck Dan, someone else can call him. Unless someone's like, Lexi, did you call Dan? Then you're like, fuck, I guess I'll call Dan. Hold on, I just lit my dab. But you know what I mean? No, we're not off topic. We're on topic using real world examples. Fucking, wait, shit, what the fuck was I saying? No, sales funnel. But fucking, in certain situations, I forgot how I was relating that to the party here. But in certain situations, you have to do more finessing. Like, you have to actually convince them, oh yes, bystander. So that's how I was saying. So like the same thing can happen in a live with bystanders, whatever the fucking thing. If somebody is just like feels like they're a bystander, they're less likely to act than if they feel like they're talking to them specifically. So you gotta start you get people to comment, you get people to have very specific conversations and interactions with you, and you build those relationships, right? And then when you're having those conversations, you think of each conversation with each person, you think of it as if you're moving them through a sales funnel. You think of it, it's just like when you're a server, there's a step of service flow for a reason. It can be different for every restaurant, but say first you go give them their water. Like if I greet a table, I always greet them with water in Louisiana because it's hot as dick here, okay? It's usually 90 degrees, 100 degrees. These bitches been walking outside. Half of them come in sweaty. I'm coming with some ice fucking water saying, hey, what's up? And then they have water while I go get their fucking drinks because that shit's going to take a while anyway. So, you go say hey, then you get their drinks because you want their drinks there before their food comes, because who the fuck wants to eat food with no fucking drink, right? So you go get their drink and then you get their food. Depending on the flow, some people get all their shit at once. Some people, they want their apps and then they want their entrees and then they want so it depends, right? There's a flow with how you do it. And you want to make the same thing happen with your live streams, with your conversations. You don't want people to think about it, because when you go to a restaurant, the server isn't coming up to you every 5 seconds and saying, okay, buy a fish now. We say there's a flow. So you greet them, then you give them a taste, you give them an introduction, and then you lead them to the following steps, right? And one of the things that you can do is be like, okay, follow me if I can DM you about this offer, right? And so, if someone follows you in the live, and then you say, okay, I'm going to follow you back so I can DM you about this. And then if they're private, you'd be like, okay, let me know when you accept my request, You build those connections, and then you can carry that private conversation out in their DMs, where you send them those links, or you tell them where to go. My shit is freezing. Can y'all still see me? But yeah, man. Fucking, I feel like to be deaf Peruvian. You just didn't know where I was going, okay? I'm just kidding. That reminds me of, why do I feel like fucking Gandalf? A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. He arrives precisely when he means to. Anywho, Um, Fucking, I am crazy. I feel crazy. But I'm gonna go in a second so I can space out, watch TV, and shove food in my face. But before I go, does anybody want to come up here and chat? No? Okay. Well, I'm about to end the live. Yeah, I meant join the live. Oh, you're about to eat too? Yeah, I'm hungry. You too. I'm gonna go eat some rice, some chicken, some broccoli casserole. Yeah. I hope y'all enjoy your food. I hope you have a good night. Thank you for joining me. You know what? I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna go eat. Thank you guys.